Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Wednesday, April 13th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Then we'll move over to the core picks for today, and then last but not least, we'll be talking about the GPP Stacks from my article for today, which I believe is not up quite yet, but I'm trying to record this video rather early since the main slate does start at 12:20 Eastern time today. But without further ado, we'll get into a recap of yesterday's picks. We're going to start off at pitcher with Luis Garcia. He was $8,600. He only got to 15 points. He pitched actually pretty well, but he was only able to pitch 4 innings yesterday. So I did give him a push here since he did pitch well, although he was limited in the innings that he did have. And then at $2,200 at first base, we have Miguel Sano. He had 3 points. I gave him a push because he didn't have that 0, but not a guy that's super hurt you, but he had that cheap price tag, so you could afford to pay up elsewhere. And then we had Corey Seager at shortstop at $3,200. He had 0 points, so he was a miss yesterday, over 4. Just a very unfortunate day for him. Same thing with Byron Buxton, who had been on a tear as of late. $3,900, 0 points, miss, 0 for 5. So just not a very good day for him overall. Then I did have Jurickson Profar initially. Was a very good matchup for him, honestly, and he did not end up starting yesterday. So I said if you played him in the outfield, you could play Mike Yastrzemski or Will Myers. And then if you played him at second base, you could pivot off to Brendan Rodgers or Gleyber Torres. So if you went to the two outfield options, we have Mike Yastrzemski here for $2,400. Ended up with 15.7 points, so he was a hit. And then Will Myers, $2,500. Got to 12.5, so he was also a hit. If you went with Brendan Rodgers, he went 0 for 4 yesterday, so he was 0, so he would have been a miss. And then if you went with Gleyber Torres at $2,500, you would have had 9 points, which would have been a hit as well. So 3 out of the 4 options that you could pivot off to that I listed from Jurickson Profar ended up panning out yesterday. So hopefully you chose one of those 3. So a little bit of a hit or miss day yesterday. Obviously, the couple bigger names that we did have were the guys that went over 4, over 5. So that was just kind of unfortunate, but we're right back at it today. Hopefully going for a 4 for 5 day or a 5 for 5 day. And like I mentioned before, MLB DFS has a little bit more randomness to it, so it's a lot more difficult to have those 5 for 5 days. But in terms of today's picks, we have at pitcher Nathan Eovaldi, $8,500. Obviously was a guy that started on opening day, pitched against the Yankees, 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, I believe gave up 3 runs. So average start there. Hopefully you get bumped up to 6 innings today. Looking for that quality start out of him and potentially a win against this Detroit Tigers team. Then at first base, we're going with Pete Alonso, $3,900. Has had a decent start to the year, kind of up and down, though. Obviously, he's batting 4th once again for the Mets today. He is 10 for 29 in his career against Aaron Nola with 3 home runs. So definitely a lot of upside there. Definitely a pitcher that he's had very success for today, and arguably the guy that's had the most success against their opposing pitcher today. And then at second base, we're going with Kiki Hernandez here at $2,700. You can also play him at outfield if you want to do so. Been okay so far this season. He's one of the few Red Sox players that actually has a history against Eduardo Rodriguez. Obviously, since Eduardo Rodriguez was most recently a Red Sox pitcher prior to this season. So he's 3 for 5 off him in his career, right-handed bat against a left-handed pitcher. Batting leadoff, could do a lot worse for $2,700. Then we move down to third base with Wilmer Flores here. You can also play him at second base. He's got a little bit of versatility there at second base and third base. Obviously, if you're playing him and Kiki Hernandez together and you want to play him at second base, then you obviously have to move Kiki Hernandez to utility or the outfield spot. But Wilmer Flores, he is actually 4 for 10 against Sean Manaea so far in his career, which is actually pretty good compared to a lot of the other guys on his team. Looks like he could be batting in that 2 spot today in the projected lineup. We'll see if that's how it ends up winding up or not. But he's actually played rather well so far this season. So Wilmer Flores, that righty on lefty matchup, another guy that I'm super interested in once again today. Then last but not least in the outfield, we have a pay-up option here with Mookie Betts at $3,800. Going against the Minnesota Twins today and Chris Paddack on the mound. He is 3 for 3 with 1 home run against Chris Paddack in his career, so Mookie Betts definitely looking like an interesting option once again today. Obviously, he's not been off to the hottest start, but hopefully he can turn that around against a guy he's had some success in Chris Paddack. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 guys that I do have listed here, you'll have $13,900 remaining, just under $3,500 per player. So a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room to kind of mix and match and build the lineup the way that you want to. Maybe if you're playing Nathan Eovaldi as your pitcher spot, we got Kiki Hernandez there. Maybe you want to attack a couple other Red Sox players. I think JD Martinez is going to be another interesting guy as well today. And then with that being said, I'm going to switch over to my GPP stacks for the day. Obviously, my article is not quite up yet. I know that's going to be out within the hour, so definitely be sure to check that out as well at webetats.com. I'll be leaving a link to that article down in the description as well for my MLB DFS cheat sheet for the FanDuel main slate for today. But in terms of the top stacks I'm looking at today, looking at the Dodgers going against Chris Paddock, don't have a lot of inspiration from Chris Paddock. Obviously, had a very rough year last year. Obviously that game is in Minnesota, so just check out the weather on that one once again. Not sure if it's going to rain there or not. I know it rained there some last night. I know here in Wisconsin, it's supposed to have a lot of rain today too, so I'm assuming they're going to get a little bit of that as well. And then we move down to the Atlanta Braves, who have had some success against Josiah Gray, who is starting for the Nationals today. And then last but not least, that Boston Red Sox team I kind of mentioned already, going against their former teammate in Eduardo Rodriguez. Sometimes when you go against your former teammate, a guy that you've seen a lot, you know what he's going to do, you know how he's going to pitch you, and you're probably going to have a little bit of success there too. Even though a lot of these guys have not faced him in a major league game in the past, but obviously Kiki Hernandez being one of them. Alex Verdugo is about the only other one that's had some success that has faced him in the past as well. But Kiki Hernandez, JD Martinez, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, those are all guys that I'm going to be very interested in tonight. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP stacks for today. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate. Maybe one of my core 5 picks here, maybe someone from my GPP stacks, maybe a completely different other option. There is a lot of good values out there on tonight's slate overall. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's MLB, whether it's NBA, whether it's NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams. I'm going to be talking some dynasty and some NFL draft and rookie draft content in the coming days, in the coming weeks as well. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.